Greetings, friends. My name is Oscar. We're here on the 11th of March, 2021. It is a balmy 16.8 degrees in Melbourne. I thought it was kind of sunny today. I kind of looked out my window, but on the other side of my house, it's like horribly overcast. So I don't know how to feel. I think that sums up my general feeling of today. Like it could go either way, depending on how this video goes. This is the first of a series of vlogs. I want to try and do it daily, but I think that might be a little bit ambitious for like my first thing. And I have so much shit to do this year. So like, let's see how it pans out. But so what is it? Hang on. March 11, 2021. So yeah, I wanted to do some vlogs, and I've tried doing like different things in this video. I've tried doing like vlogs where I just like sum up what I'm doing in game design and trying to like sum up things. But like honestly, I would like to just put out ideas that I've had and general sort of philosophical things about how I'm developing games and stuff without having to wait like 3 months between these big like dumps of like, oh, here's what I've been doing on this game. Here's this thing I've been doing, because like often I come up with ideas and stuff just based on like the shit that's going on like on Twitter or on YouTube or just like in general. Like I've been thinking a lot like this year about fucking Mega Man Battle Network, and like I'm never going to make a video about that because I don't want to edit it and stuff. So if I could just like get it out there, talk about it, mention a few things that I thought were cool about it, and maybe just like inspire someone to go and play it, because that's the thing. Like I still haven't done my fucking not game of the year video this year, which I really need to get onto, but for last year. But yeah, like I always just think of those things as just like great recommendations for things I like, and maybe people could get like a bit of sense of my games from seeing the things that I like and the way that I think. And yeah, I just want to get that out there in a better form than just like tweeting about it where like no one's going to read it because people only follow you on Twitter for pictures, which is kind of weird, but whatever. So yeah, I think I'll just start off. Nanomon, just quick update. You can see him running down in the bottom screen here. I've added like a ton of stuff. I can't remember if this tennis game was in the last update I did, but I've done like an interesting, I didn't do an interesting thing. I did an obvious thing. And it was interesting that I didn't realize it was obvious. I was chatting to some people, and I was showing the game to them, and they were like, "Oh, it's funny. You feed the two things that keep them alive are like meat and pills." And they were like, "What's with the pills?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was just I just did the thing that I always hate in game design, where it's like you just default to what is kind of standard in the thing that inspired you." So in Digimon, they had like pills, which to me always made sense in the form of Digimon because it was like really laser focused on battling. But it was always a bit weird in like Tamagotchi how there was just two different forms of food. And I just kind of realized, I'm like, well, it should be like food and water. That's what things need to survive. So I just changed everything over, and it was this big, like, oh my God, have I just screwed everything? I did like a find and replace on like a whole bunch of like variables and stuff. But yeah, I changed it to like these juice boxes because I didn't want it to be like a bowl of water. I wanted it to be something that kind of like visually got like degraded as he ate it, and I didn't want to have to like draw new animations for all the different Nanomon drinking. So I was like, all right, juice box, yeah, that kind of works. Like it's fine. This is what it looks like. I think it sits pretty well with everything. OJ, I like the idea of this game being very nostalgic, not nostalgic like for the for Digimon and Tamagotchi, but nostalgic in the way of like, oh, adults don't drink juice boxes. You know what I mean? Like it's a children's thing, but it's a thing. Like I love juice boxes; they're cool, right? And you only have to like walk past like a building site at lunchtime and see tradies like drinking choc milks out of the like choc milk carton, and you're just like, fuck. Like that's the best job ever. You get to drink out of a carton. That's awesome. So I did that. I've done like a few other things. As you can see, there's like down the bottom, these little rocks in the foreground. I'll talk about that a little bit later because it relates to a game that I've been playing. But yeah, like Nanomon, it's pretty good. There's a Steam page now. The link is in the description. You can go and wishlist it. That's really great. There will be a Discord, but I have to like finish it up. So yeah. Next update, man, Kardboard Kings, just a screenshot for now. We had like a whole bunch of crazy shit going on with Kardboard Kings where like we had to redo in like Unity, we were using the HDRP, which I don't know, I assume HD is high definition render pipeline. But we've gone back to whatever the like regular render pipeline is. That was Rob's call. I don't really understand it, but it basically meant I had to redo like all this color grading and the bloom and the lighting. It was a pain in the butt, and it's still not entirely done, but this is kind of what it looks like at the moment, and it'll kind of look something like that. Maybe a little less bloomy. That is a little bit like washed out there. But yeah, we talking about like Kardboard Kings though, we've been doing like we've kind of realized that we made this game that is not like a real like tycoon game where you're just growing. That was like from the very beginning, the idea of the game was to be about like sustaining a small business rather than growing it and growing it, becoming this like multi-millionaire. It's more like, well, you started a card shop to do like those very like small community interactions and events and things. You didn't do it so you could like, in the same way that I don't like game dev tycoon after a certain point, because it's like you've started your own multinational corporation and now you can launch your own console and like a sequel to that console. And I'm like, that's not really my aspiration as a game developer. And I think it's probably not a lot of people's, right? I always was like, I want to play like game dev story or game dev tycoon on PC. I want to play it just like in the garage. I liked that part of the game where it's just me working on it. And then it's like, all right, no, you have to start a company now. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. That's not my dream. So I was kind of like, yeah, it doesn't really make sense to start like a small card shop and grow it into this huge thing. Cause like card shops don't really do that. Like games shops and stuff do, but yeah. It was also something that we wanted it to be like, people who play something like Animal Crossing, right? Or like the loop of Animal Crossing. Again, I don't feel like it's that like constant growth and getting bigger and bigger. It's like there's a point at which you just like want to level out and just like keep it at this level. Like I've done that with Animal Crossing. Like I haven't like chopped down every tree on my island. I haven't terraformed the whole thing. I just want it to be this nice getaway. So we wanted to like make sure that is in there, right? So we do have like progression in the sense of like you're unlocking new decorations and things for your shop. So like I think like down here, these posters over here. What else? Like here, other curtains as well. Like they can all be, and then there's stuff like here and here. So there's like lots of different like places. Oh, and then like the carpet and the floor. I think that's everything that can be. Oh, maybe the clock, I think, might. So like all these different types of decorations you can unlock that you kind of get by playing the game in the way we want you to, which is just like maintaining this like good level of like business. But we've kind of worked out like we have this trifecta, right? Because we have, in terms of the design, you have over here, the tab is closed, but you have like your cards, which are over on the side here. And then you have your reputation and you have your money down here. And we kind of think of those as like three separate currencies in the game, right? And the idea is we want to have like high level play be essentially like this risk reward of you spending one to gain the other. And so we've kind of got like these three currencies, right? And you want to like try and, down here is like base level, just like you're selling cards and doing stuff, right? And then once you get like a high enough amount of either like cards money or reputation, right? Like once you kind of like, not grind, but like once you earn enough of that by just playing the game regularly, you kind of like ascend to this like second like level, like this isn't like a thing that the game is like, you have ascended, but it's just like you get to this point where it's like, it's like in an action game, like in Devil May Cry, when you get your like devil trigger, is that what it's called? The devil trigger meter, like full. And suddenly like the game just sort of opens up a little bit. It's like, all right, that you now have this thing you can spend doing this or this or this, and it's like, it kind of opens up more opportunities for those mechanics, right? So once you get to this, right, once you've got like 20 cards, or you've got like about 50% reputation, or you've got like $50 of cash, right, that's just like sitting there, then you kind of unlock these new activities you can do. So you can run tournaments, you can do booster drafts, or you can do clearance sales. And each of those things will cost one of these like currencies and give you another one, but it'll be like a risk. And it's like, if you don't know how to read the market, you don't know how to read like exactly the game and work out when the best time to do these things are, you may lose some of that currency, and then you'll kind of not be able to, because each of these cost like an amount of the other. This is sounding like so complicated now. But it's like, all right, so like to do a clearance sale, right, so you need like 20 cards. So it's like, all right, if you don't have 20 cards, you can't do a clearance sale, right? So you'll kind of like drop back down to this like level here. And you're like, all right, just play the game a little bit more. And then it's like building up your devil trigger again. It's like if you get like hit in a game when you've got like your combo going, and then, or in like Tony Hawk, when it's like, all right, when you've got your special meter full, you can do special moves and you'll get more points, but it's like the game is harder, and it's that pressure of like maintaining that level of like play. And it's like when you screw it up and you bail, it's like, all right, you're back down. You got to build that back up again. Won't take long, but it's like, you've just got to do it again. And that's like the balance, this sort of like flow state that we want to get you into. If you haven't played the game Flow, go and check it out. It's by That Game Company. I think before they were called That Game Company. It's the most annoying fucking company name, by the way. And so we've got these three things. You can do clearance sales, you can do booster drafts, and you can do tournaments, right? And each of them will like spend one of your currencies and get you another one, but potentially lose all your currency. And yeah, so that's kind of where we're at the moment, is trying to get people to like start at this base level down here and then like earn enough like currency or whatever to get to this like this sort of like flow state like element here, and like see like keep betting bigger and bigger and bigger on things and like going between these three. So you do a clearance sale, it's like, all right, that'll get you lots of reputation, and then you can spend that reputation on something else, and then like keep moving between these three kind of like chunks of the game. And then when you fail, inevitably, you will kind of drop back down again. So that's kind of where we're at with that at the moment. And then the whole time, like there is like a progression as well of like earning more and more decorations for your shop, but those are like purely cosmetic. They don't affect the game, because yeah, we want this game to be like really focused on like the mastery of the mastery of small business. It's like you only have to look at like when big corporations try and like take on small businesses, and they kind of just like fail because they're like, oh fuck, we actually don't know what we're doing on that like micro level. They're good at the macro, but they're not good at like being personable and stuff. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do, is like make this game be like, all right, if you can read your like customer base, if you understand like your business and your specific shop really well, then you'll do well. So yeah, hopefully people understand that, and they're not like, I just want to get a bigger shop. Because yeah, people kind of have this assumption that we're making this like tycoon game or something. And we're really not. So I'm just feeding my little guy down here. So sorry about that. All right. That's that. What is next? I've written like an agenda of shit to talk about. Discord servers. Yeah, so Discord, I'm not like, I'm on Discord like all the time, but I don't, how does the Discord logo look? It looks kind of like this, right? Looks like a controller. I'm going to draw it. Yeah, so I just don't really know what exactly people want out of a Discord. Is it like, do people really want me to be like, all right, you have to be on there like every day chatting to me and doing stuff? Or is it like, is that where you would rather get updates on the game? How often do you want that? Do you want updates on the game? How should that be structured in a channel? Do you want stuff? Because we have a Discord for Kardboard Kings, and it's okay. Like, there are people on it, and I think they enjoy themselves. But I want to know, it's like, how can we make that better? If you're on there and you want it to be better, and I'm making a Discord for Nanomon, and I really want that to be much more of a community thing where, like, it's not just people who are excited for the game to come out, but like once the game comes out, I wanted it to be a place where people can like meet up and trade like secrets, tips, or whatever, and also like meet up for battling, because that's how I want to do the battling kind of. Instead of having like matchmaking or something, I want people to like meet up, actually have to agree to battle each other. God, is this the worst fucking Discord logo that I've drawn? Yeah, that's basically what I want. Is I just want to know what people want, what people like out of a Discord community, and like be specific. Like, I want like a meme channel, or I want like a creative corner where I can post stuff that I'm working on, or I want like an art feedback channel, that kind of thing. I think a really great Discord that I'm part of is artist Mark Flynn's Discord. It's just really nice, just everyone posting like a lot of art and creative stuff there and giving feedback on it. I think that's really cool. So yeah, that's that really. What is next? Yeah, so just a bit of news. I thought this one might be kind of cool to do. Again, this is an experiment. I may not even post this video, so if you're seeing it, lucky you. But just, yeah, are people cool with me talking a little bit about news? So that's kind of what I wanted to do. Is, yeah, like, I've just gone through Twitter this morning. I'm going to do these in the morning, and I'm just going to go through Twitter and be like, oh, look, hey, a new Ninja Turtles game got announced. I think that's cool. Where is that? Hey, here it is. Shredder's Revenge. I wouldn't normally give a shit about this. There have been like a bajillion TMNT games. I'm not even a fan of the Ninja Turtles. Like, I didn't grow up with it. I'm too young really for the Ninja Turtles. I think I was like at that perfect age where it's like Pokemon and anime just like destroyed Western animation and cartoons in the minds of children for a while. And he would just like, these eyes on these characters are too small. I'm not interested in this. There are too many frames of animation in this. I am not interested. So yeah, I was like, I saw this and was like, yeah, who cares? But a couple of things. One, beat 'em up game. I am a fan of beat 'em up games in the vein of Scott Pilgrim, River City Ransom. Two, it's got real nice art. Like, it's just a nice palette. I'm a sucker for like beat 'em. I'll show you. Actually, got it like right here. Yeah, right here. It looks good. I really like just, how can I explain it? Like that like 80s, 90s New York, like cartoon New York aesthetic. It's just something about it just really like sits really nicely. I just love that like jumping on rooftops of like Manhattan at night. You know what I mean? There's something about that. Like, so the concept of Ninja Turtles has just like always appealed to me. I always thought it was really cool. I just never like grew up with it or have really watched it. I think I've seen one movie, but I don't remember what happened. It was like at a friend's house when I was 6. So like, I remember there was like a kid dropped his like turtles in. I know the origin story of the Ninja Turtles. They were like dropped in the sewer or something, right? Oh my Nanomon's he needs to go home. Yeah. So I know a little bit about them, but the trailer for this had like amazingly good animation in it. It looked really nice to the point where I'm like, wow, are they like rebooting the cartoon or something? I don't know. Maybe there is a Ninja Turtles cartoon at the moment. I don't know. But the final thing was it's made by Tribute Games, which is a company that I'm always just like, oh, I will check out whatever they're making. In hindsight, like I kind of thought about it though. I've only mildly liked like one of their games. Like I think I've bought like all of their games and then been like, I don't really like this. But I don't know. Like I really liked, I think their first game was called Wizorb. I really liked that one. Whoops. It's just it's like Breakout basically. But you kind of like level up and it's cool. Just go check it out. Wizorb. It's got really nice like pixel art graphics. I think it was on phone or iPad or something. I vaguely remember playing it on a phone, but I might be like misremembering that. I do have it on Steam. It's on Steam. Go check it out there. Then they did a game that was like Curses and Chaos, I think, and I didn't understand how to play that or what I was doing, and it really just frustrated me. But it had amazing like background art and just like looked really, really cool, but I didn't really understand how to play it. Then I backed and got a key for Mercenary Kings, which was kind of like a Monster Hunter game, and before I knew what Monster Hunter was, I didn't know what it was, and I just got that game and tried to play it by myself and was like, what is this? Is this like Contra where it's just the same maps and you're just going into the same maps and grinding for like stuff and then leaving? And I didn't understand like what the point of it was, and I still sort of don't. Like, even if I was playing with a friend, which I've done, I'd just be like, it's kind of boring. Like, I don't really get it. It looks phenomenal, but I just don't think that there's a loop in there that really like, it's like a very long gameplay loop or something, where it's like, it just took so long to make any kind of progress that I was like, I don't care, you know? Then what else have they made? I haven't played Panzer Paladin. That does look really cool. I like mech games. I like kind of arcadey mech games. I don't want to check it out. I will check it out. But also, the games are just really difficult, and I'm just sort of at this point in my life where I'm like, there are difficult things that I can attempt to do in my life, like learn a language or something, that are way more worth my time than playing difficult video games. I'm not poo-pooing difficult video games, but I'm just sort of like, I don't need to like prove anything to video games anymore. So yeah, I'm just like really into this art style though. Just it looks really nice. I mean, you can see that, right? People understand that. Yeah, so that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Just got announced, I guess, today. I assume it's coming out soon. It would be weird to announce like a pixel art beat 'em up, you know, but and there's like Turtles in Time is like a game that people really love too. I never played it, but yeah, awesome. I love the NES or SNES like Ninja Turtles, like the pixel art look of them. Oh, I think there was one on the NES or the SNES that, like the one where you just play as like one Ninja Turtle and then you drive around in a van. I always loved the look of that game as a kid. I remember thinking like, wow, it was like the idea of it being like this open world. I know it's not open world, but just like driving around in a van and then fighting crimes. I thought that was really cool. I doubt this is going to be anything like that, but yeah. What is next? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. This is dumb. I don't know why I left it. Maybe I'll just cut this out. But just, there's all this like fucked shit with like the British royal family at the moment. I don't really want to like weigh in on that. It's just fucked. Like I'm like anti-monarchist, go Republic, Australia, woo, all that stuff. But I was just thinking like there's no game that I could find outside of maybe like the Democracy series that was really about like PR management and like crisis management. And I just like watching all this I don't know if this is really bad. Maybe people tell me if this is like bad, that my thoughts of like hearing that the royal family was like incredibly racist. Just my thoughts were like, that would be an interesting game. Is like you have to be like the PR manager for the royal family, and they're just like doing shit things constantly, and you're like, you know. I mean, not necessarily the royal family, but I was just kind of thinking like, just like a real like basic game where you just sort of like picking like, hey, how are we gonna like spin this and stuff. And I just thought like, you know, Reigns. I don't know if anyone played this game, Reigns, but it was like a phone game that Devolver published, and it was kind of fun. You sort of just like balancing, you had to like balance like what the church thought of you, what the people thought of you. You can actually see it right here. Yeah, you can see like, yeah, what the church thinks. I'll change color. What the church thought of you, what the people thought of you, what the military thought of you, and how much money you had. But then it was also sort of like what the military thought of you is also sort of like your military might, and it would like fill up. So it would be like, okay, you know, the guy would come to you and be like, oh, there's like a neighboring kingdom that looks like they might attack us. We should attack them first. And if you say no, then like your military will go down, because like they'll be like, no, I want to start a war. But then like, you know, I don't know. But if you do go to war, then like maybe your money will go down and the military will go up, you know. So I thought it was kind of cool. You could like make it. I thought it would be interesting to make a game where it's just, you're just balancing like public opinion. You could have like different sectors of society or something. And then, yeah, like just, they made a Game of Thrones version as well, which I thought was kind of cool. I played that while I was watching Game of Thrones, and it weirdly ruined bits, but then also sort of didn't. Yeah, because I like watched Game of Thrones like after it had like come out or whatever. But I thought like, hey, if they make like licensed Game of Thrones kind of versions of it, they should just go all out and just make like British royal family like reigns. That would be sick. I would play the shit out of that. And please don't somebody like message me and tell me like, I've played them. I've played Kingdom. I've played Yes, Your Grace. I know the concept of like, you know, being the king. No, I don't want that. I want modern royal family with like, or not even modern, just like 20th to 21st century royal family. Like Prince Harry dresses up as Hitler at a party. I don't know. Does that date me that I know that he did that? Does that let you know how old I am? Yeah, you got to, you know, Diana is like, you know, saying shit about the royal family, so you have to have her killed. Like that would be a sick game, and probably really offensive and slanderous, but like, man, I would play the shit out of that game. Yeah, so that's a hypothetical game. You can have these ideas for free. Yeah, and then finally, TMNT. Finally, is this game I've been playing called Dreeps, which Ed, I don't know your last name, Ed. Sorry, Ed told me about this game because I was showing him Nanomon, and he was like, dude, it reminds me of this game called Dreeps, which when you actually look at it, like you can see down here, and like I'll go exploring. It's like, all right, this is what it looks like. Cool, makes sense. And then you see like what Dreeps looks like, and it's like exactly the same thing. It's like he's walking in the same direction. People have said like, why do you always make characters walk from right to left? And I'm like, I don't know. Something about my brain just makes me want to like do the opposite of what every platformer has ever done. I don't know why. But like, so this game does the same thing. And I think I remember like, I think it's in the Design of Everyday Things, actually. Don Norman says something about like in a lot of Eastern, whatever that means, but like Asia, like going from right to left is like past to future. Whereas like in the West, aka America, Britain, and Australia, which whatever, and a million other countries I'm aware, but like is going from left to right is from past to future. So like editing video in like, I guess like Japan, maybe they're like, what? Why would it play from left to right? You know, like the timeline. Wouldn't it go the other way? So maybe that's why this Dreeps game does it. I don't know why I do it. I have no idea. But for some reason, my brain just automatically is like, yeah, things should move from left to right, from right to left. But yeah, that's this game is like really, really cool. So I'll try and explain it, right? It is a game that you don't play. Like, it's this full RPG where, like, this little robot boy, he's kind of like Astro Boy or something. He sets out on an adventure, and then he'll, like, bump into things really similar to Nanomon. He'll bump into things, have, like random battles that are sort of, like, turn-based. And then he'll bump into, like, NPCs, like, just here, like, this, like, owl-looking dude. And then he'll, like, get like party members and things. I don't know if I've got a screenshot of him getting party members. No. And he just does all this stuff. He levels up slowly as he like defeats enemies. He'll move to like through different areas depending on what, like when you're playing it and stuff. And then you're like, oh man, I'm trying to explain it because like you don't play it. This is the problem with this game, is you don't really play it. What happens is when his HP hits 0, you put him, you turn the game off basically, right? You turn the game off, and then before you go to sleep at night, there's an alarm in the game, right? So it's basically an alarm clock. You can see up like the top here, right? It's got this huge like the fucking time, right? So over here, right, you have this button. You open that, and it just like brings up this alarm menu, and I guess you like level up and you unlock new alarms. I don't really understand what they do, how they work. This game is really strange. And you just sort of like, you just set one of them, and then you go to bed, and he'll regen his health. Whoops. And you go to bed, and he'll regen his health depending on like what you've done. And like as you level the alarm up, I guess it regens more health. So like this morning I woke up and he hadn't really regened much health. I think the idea is that you're sort of like, it's trying to encourage you to sleep better. Like I went to bed at like 11:30 last night and then woke up at like 6. So maybe it's like, you didn't get 8 hours, so he didn't heal very much HP. So like already my kid has like, my Robo Boy has already run out of HP. But like, yeah, like the weird thing is like during the day you can just tell him to go to sleep as well. So I've just been doing, like, he's asleep right now and you can't see it, but, and then like when he's sleeping, just this robot sheep just comes up on the screen and just like does, he walks from left to right actually, just in this black void. And it's just like this bizarre world. It's kind of got like a Wall-E, like Wall-E or whatever it is, the Pixar film kind of vibe of like this destroyed, like post-apocalyptic world with just these like weird creatures and things in them, and then this robot boy, and you're like moving through it, and you're only fighting like these robots called Monteslas. They're like monsters and they're electric. Montesla. It's genius. But like, I don't know, man. It's like $5 or $6 Australian. I don't know what that is in American, like $3 or something on the App Store on iOS. It runs on like it's from like 2015, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it'll run on anything. It's really cool. It's got an alarm that wakes you up in the morning. I mean, it's just an alarm app, but like during the day, you just watch this RPG play out, and it's like an idle game basically, but you don't have to interact with it at all except when you go to bed. Oh, and when he loses a battle, he won't explode. You have to like tap him to like wait, like get him up, or you have to like help him up. I don't know if he gets up on his own after a little while, but whatever. But the pixel art is so good. It's just really nice. It's just such a nice game. There's nothing else like it. Just go and check it out. I'm really, really like into it at the moment. It's got a really nice soundtrack as well. I don't know if I should, actually. I was thinking maybe I could put some of the music over the top of this video. If there's music playing over this video, I'm not going to do it because that's rude. I haven't asked the guy, and the guy's Japanese who wrote the music, so I don't know if he could, if he'd be like, what? Like I don't speak Japanese. So, yeah. Oh, man. I don't know what else to say about this game. It's just like really, really cool. Dreeps. I don't know what the name, I guess it's like a mashup of dreams and sleep. Dreeps, maybe? I don't know. People have said like drops or drips, but yeah, I don't know why it's called that. It was on the 3DS as well, which is really weird. I don't know if it was a 3DS like in just Japan only. I know there was a physical version of it, but yeah. Go and check this game out. Like really, I think it's worth the money just to like experience something like very strange. But yeah, like there's basically no game, so don't get upset don't come back to me and be like, oh, what the fuck, I'm not doing anything. It's like, yeah, I know, that's the game. You don't do anything. And the idea is that, yeah, like for those of you who don't have time to play an RPG anymore, which it just, I don't know, there's like a sadness about it. Like it's that sad nostalgia, right? Where it's like you're this boy in this very toy-like kind of cute world that's destroyed though, right? And he's this child, like he like, it's like your inner child going on the adventure that you can't because you're stuck in your fucking 9 to 5. Like it's adorable. And the music's really great. So go and check out Dreeps. That's my game recommendation. I'm going to wrap this fucking video up because it's been going for way, way too long. But yes, thank you so much for watching. You are special and loved, and I'm trying to talk and write at the same. Thank you. There you go. You're special. You're loved. The world is your oyster. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this is actually good, because I have a feeling this sucked, but I don't know. Also, yeah, check out the Discords. I'll leave the link in the description. And go and like Nanomon and Kardboard Kings. And I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.